Hello, everybody. Welcome back to It's Samira Interviews. It's been a while, but I'm back on. I'm Samira, and I'm joined today by a familiar guest that we've had on what I would say about a year ago or so. Karam, what's going on?
Was it a year ago? It feels like it was longer now. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Very good. I cannot complain.
You've come a long way since the last time we spoke. It's been, you've done some amazing things.
Yeah, luckily the business has been treating me pretty well after my injury. I don't know if you were familiar with it, my knee injury. But after that, I healed up quick and I was able to get cool opportunities and they keep happening. They keep happening. So I'm happy and I'm thankful that you're wanting to speak to me again and having me here. So it's always a pleasure talking to you too.
Well, of course, love to bring you back on. As people don't know this, but we were trying to schedule something for so long. And
Yeah.
specifically, I wanted to try to do something in April. As some people may know, April is Arab American Heritage Month. And, me and Karam, I want to call you Karam because, it's like the
No,
Arab.
call me Karam because it should be like that, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
true.
yeah. We say here Karam. All you
Yeah.
got to roll the R, Karam, and then you're good.
Got to bring in that accent right there. But, I wanted to do some, in April, Arab American Heritage Month, as we are both Lebanese, and, to discuss, like, some of the Arab and bring out our heritage, because I know that you really bring that out in your character, as well as like me as well. Like, well, not like my character per se, but like we both show our culture and who we are in the business.
Yeah, yeah. I think you don't see a lot of Lebanese people in the wrestling business, or like sometimes we're afraid to show our heritage just because the stigma around it. So I think people like me and you, when we embrace it and show it, and I think it's all positive, and I think we can bring a positive light to that. And I think we're doing a pretty good job, wouldn't you say?
I completely agree with you. It's so cool then getting to meet other people, the few of us that are in the business. Cause
Yeah.
I feel like as everybody grew up in like the Arab household, like your parents don't expect you to do something like that. They want you to be like a doctor or something that will make you money. Was that the same way for you?
Oh my gosh, yeah. They gave me the hardest time when I got out of school and I didn't know what to do. And then the first thing that came to mind was like, I want to be a professional wrestler. Yeah, they didn't really take it too well, because like you said, around here, and I don't know if you're familiar with like the Dearborn area. It's just a really high population of Arabs. Everybody has like the same mindset: doctor, lawyer, surgeon, all these things. And I don't know. I'm a bit taboo. I got piercings, I got tattoos, and I like to just be a little different. But now they kind of see that I'm doing well, and they know I can be something in it. So they've really been more open-minded to it, and I'd like to say they've become my number one fan. So I don't know. My dad wears my shirt, so that counts as something, right?
Have they ever seen you wrestle live in person?
My mom won't watch me, but because she doesn't want to see me get hurt or anything, but she'll watch some of the YouTube. So like when I did AEW Dark, she was really into it. She watched that, and she'll watch some of my AAW stuff in Chicago. But yeah, she doesn't like it's funny because she's like the best actually fan, because she'll see us do something and she'll be like, did you really hurt him? Did they really hurt you? Like, she can't tell. And then, but my dad will come to a few shows and he'll be all about it.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Like it's interesting because I understand that, as my mom kind of understood, but not a lot, as well as my dad. He didn't really get it. He's like, you have a job, like why are you, doing all this? But they've come to, support it, and they're like to see how it's going. So I completely understand where you're getting with that.
Yeah, they can't really argue success, and it's been cool to like, because since the last time I chatted with you here and now your following grew so much. So you've been doing an awesome job, and I'm glad to like just be a part of this, and you wanting me here and just seeing you grow. I think it's really cool.
Oh, thank you so much. And you've done a lot, since the last time we spoke as well, which we'll get into. I want to, keep going on with like our Arab discussion, as like that's how I wanted to, talk about what we wanted to do in like April, bringing the Arab side into the wrestling business. Have you ever had a bad experience at all with anybody like about it?
No, I don't. There's always going to be that thing where some of the old school guys are like, you need to, show your like ethnicity in a way of like a heel, right? Where the Hatuagal or stuff like that, and be very stereotypical. But I think I did a good job showcasing that I don't. It's like I usually portray a heel, but it's not me being Arab that makes me a bad guy. It's just, the character that I want to be. So luckily I haven't had anybody try to stereotype me too much. But I do think sometimes there are people that think that maybe having an Arab as a top guy, there's no money in it, and but like we said, we're trying to break that barrier, right? So it's just a challenge that I want to accept and try to break that barrier and do all those things. So luckily, no, everybody's kind of treated me well for the most part. In the early stages of my career, when you go through those smaller shows ran by those, more of like the older school people, they'll want to call you something like Ahmed Hassan or something like that. And then, so this is sort of ridiculous like that. And but no, luckily it's been good. And luckily the climate of wrestling has been very progressive. So I think we're just here at the right time and place right now for wrestling as it's growing in that direction.
Now, I do notice like some of your, Instagram captions and stuff, you do write in Arabic. So can you read and like write and stuff in Arabic?
I out of short. I can speak a little bit. Writing, it's funny. I'll like do a little bit of it. I'll be like, and I'll text my mom, be like, "Hey, mom, is this right? Am I doing this right?" So I'm sorry, guys. I'm rooting the. That's so embarrassing. No, I totally call my mother, and be like, "Hey, I texted you this. Can you tell me if it's right? Tell me what it says. I want to make sure it's correct." They're like, "Yeah, yes, you're saying it right. You're saying it right." But I've totally got translations wrong before. She's like, I wouldn't say that, because we'll be like strong in that language, whereas like, oh, you shouldn't say it like that, so say it like this. So I'm definitely a cheater in that department when it comes to writing in Arabic, but it looks cool, doesn't it?
It's definitely cooler than people like ask you like, oh, what does it say? Because sometimes like when you want to translate it as like Levantine, like the Lebanese, but the Google Translate is like that formal Arabic. Yeah. So like, and you're trying to like word it the right way. Like I totally understand what you mean. أنا بعرف شوي. ما كتير بس شوي.
Yeah. I understand that, but if you go a little bit past that, I'll be like, okay, I can like, it's broken, so I'll be able to pick your words and then put it together, and maybe I'll get like 80% of it right.
Because I was just about to ask you a question in Arabic to the best of my ability.
I probably be like, English. We're really proud of our culture.
We are.
But we are a little Americanized, aren't we?
A little too much, I would just say.
Yeah, that's too much. But hey, we're still proud of who we are.
Yeah. So when كان صغير أمك وبيك تحكي عربي to you?
Did you something about speaking Arabic to me?
I said like when you were little, did your mom and dad like speak to you in Arabic? That's what I was like trying to say.
Yeah. No, and I totally 100% believe, and I hope my mom hears this, that they did not speak to me in Arabic so they can talk a lot of crap about us. Oh, totally. There's no reason. They're both born in Beirut, like the city, fluent, and then didn't speak to us in Arabic. They taught us English. I was like, there has to be some reason, and it's totally to just talk about us. I just, whatever, I'm going with that. You know what's funny is that I totally know more Japanese now than I know. And I could do sentences in Japanese, but I can't do too many sentences in Arabic. Gosh, and we're supposed to, you wanted to do this Arab culture thing, and I'm here, yeah, I know Japanese, but I don't know.
I think my last Arab question for you, the last time you told me you don't really listen to Arabic music, but your cousin is Robin Alema, and I was like, no way.
Yes, he is. We are related. We are. Him and my dad grew up a little bit together. I personally never met him or anything like that, but yeah, we are related.
You gotta tell me you don't listen to any of his songs.
I do. He's pretty good. He's pretty good. He's still he seems to be a ladies' man even in his older age. So he's doing all right for himself. Yeah, no, no. I mean, hey, the talent comes from the Aleme, right? So yeah, we're entertainers at heart. My dad even used to do a little bit of like stand-up comedy back in the day when he was younger and stuff like that. So we're just a bunch of performers, and I think that's really cool. Like, even though I haven't met him, it's cool that we're connected in a form of entertainment, and I think that's awesome.
Would you ever like make one of his songs your theme song at all?
No, he's a little too suave.
Yeah.
So no, I'm more into the the big beats, bass and stuff like that. He's more the pretty music and the really pretty voice and everything. I hope I meet him one day, though. I think that would be pretty cool.
Do like a mix of one of his songs and like one of your heavy songs for the theme, and just like mash them together.
That'd be sweet. That'd be a hit, #1 in all countries.
Oh my god, that would be so different and so cool at the same time.
I might even sample one of his songs now. You gave me an idea.
Oh, can I help you with that? I know it's a popular song of his, but it's like that one, and it's like so good. Like I'm just like, I listen to it all the time actually because I love Arabic music. I'm gonna help you out. I got you.
You're a big fan. That's cool.
I love Arabic music.
Arabic music is very beautiful, and I love the instruments that they use and everything. And it's not something I listen to every day, but I won't turn it off if it's on.
Anything to add about like the Arab culture, anything at all before we move on to all the wrestling?
We talked about Kanafa before, and if you ever come to Dearborn, I know the spot for Kanafa where you gotta go, and I'll show you. There's so much good food here. You have to come to Dearborn because it's like a little Lebanon, really. There's so many Lebanese people here, and others. There's Iraqi and Palestinians and everything. So you just get all of that. So like anybody who's like interested in that Arab culture, like I think Dearborn is an awesome place to go to.
Definitely want to come up there one day. I always hear about it, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I really need to go there. I don't know if you've been here on the East Coast. Now I have a place for you. Now there's a place in Jersey, it's Patterson, and like half of it is, I believe, all Spanish, if I'm not wrong, and the other half is all Arabs. And I feel like I'm in like Beirut as well, like when I'm down there. So if you're ever down there, if you come over here, I got suggestions for you. I'll take you there. It is so much fun. So as we make our way back into the wrestling world, like we were talking about earlier on, like so much has happened for you since the last time we spoke, as you sustained an injury to your knee, but then quickly picked back up. You were being booked like crazy, you won championships, you were on AEW Dark. Like, how's that been like, for you, like changing all so fast? What were your like feelings like as you look back and think about that?
So when I got hurt, it was like in the midst of like, it was right before WrestleMania week in I believe it was Tampa. Was it Tampa that year? I think it was 2021. Yeah. And still things were weird with COVID. So like I remember we were still doing like the limited capacity of like 30 fans at a venue, and it was brutal. So yeah, I got hurt at that time, and then I just knew, I was like, man, like if I come back, I can't come back the same. I have to come back and I got to show that, I got to come back bigger, stronger, faster, and just with a better attitude. So they said I was going to be out for 9 months, and then I was like, screw it. I came back 5 months, a little bit less than 5 months, which is somewhat unheard of. But I had really good physical therapists, and my rehab was really on point, and I think I proved something there, coming back so quickly. And then we talked about AAW a lot, how much opportunity they give me, which I just had a match with ACH and Rich Swann and Josh C in a 6-man tag. So it's cool just to kind of see where it's been, like about a year now exactly since I tore my knee, like a whole year. So just kind of thinking like, wow, that's not too long ago, and all the stuff I've accomplished since then. It's really cool, and I am proud of myself with that, and I'm going to pat myself on the back with that. So just kind of to reflect on it. I don't know what the initial question was again, I'm sorry. But
no, it's all good. Like, what were your feelings toward all that? Like that so much has happened, like, from going from your injury to like all your bookings, like to winning championships, AEW Dark, like you're doing so much, and like you're saying, like so much happened in the year, and like your feelings towards that.
Yeah, for sure. And just kind of thinking how, like, man, so much has happened in such a little time, like just 1 year, like coming back from such a major injury and winning the United Glory Tag Team Championship with Xavier Walker at Glory Pro, the Sanctuary Fight Club Thrash Zone Heavyweight Championship in Detroit, hometown, and then winning the FIP World Heavyweight Championship, which has like so much history behind it. And once I won that, I knew, okay, this is what I'm meant to do. So having all these accomplishments and going through so much before that, mentally and physically, I'm happy. I'm very happy. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, so what's the goal? Where do you want to be? But man, I'm taking it day by day, because every day has truly been a blessing right now. And I'm very thankful. Not all days are great. Wrestling is a roller coaster. There are ups and downs, and you can beat yourself up sometimes. But overall, man, I think I'm doing a good job for the close to 4 years I've been doing this now, and I'm happy. So to reflect on it, I'd say I'm proud of myself, and I don't tell myself that often. And I get even emotional, like thinking about that. It's because we beat ourselves up. We're perfectionists. I'm sure you can agree with that. So it's a good feeling. Like I feel good. I feel good. To simple words, I feel good.
Well, you're doing absolutely amazing for yourself. And like, how's your knee been feeling since, you said you spent 5 months, like it took 5 months. How's it been feeling? Everything's like feeling great.
Brand new. I'm brand new. I actually feel the healthiest that I've been even before it, because like when COVID was going on, the gyms were closed. We were kind of out of shape. I remember I had my first match like after COVID, and no gyms, no nothing. I was still like in shape, but I wasn't like what I am now. And I just remember like after my match, I like laid on the floor just so out of shape, and it was only like a 10-minute match. So like going back, I came back the way I wanted to, bigger, faster, stronger. And that's not like in a conceited way or anything. It's just like, that's what I told myself I was going to do. And I did it. I remember 2 weeks after surgery, I went to the gym. Yeah. And every morning I had my meals, which still to this day, I have my meals in check, and I had my workouts in check, and everything was just lined up. And for real, I look back, I'm like, man, I'm really proud of myself. I really like, I know I keep saying it, but and because usually I'm not. So it feels good to have that feeling, so yeah, it's all good.
You've obviously you picked up like very fast, like within 5 months instead of 9, and you just ran forward with it. You really did.
Right. Yeah. It's easy. I think it's easy to fall into a negative mindset when it comes to wrestling, because this business doesn't owe you anything. And you're going to be told no a lot, and stuff's not going to go your way. So like, you really do have to keep that good head on your shoulders, or it is going to eat you up. And that's why you see some wrestlers a little bitter, and and things like that. But man, if you just, like I said, if you take it day by day and you do those small accomplishments, you're going to get where you want to go.
Yeah, definitely. And after this knee surgery, as we were talking, you've won a lot of championships in your time, and that's amazing. And I've seen you've been going to Florida a lot
Yeah,
recently.
AEW has given me like a little bit of opportunity, which is good. I think they're great at bringing independent talent and showcasing them a little bit, and I'm very happy that they bring me in. I seem to have a good relationship for what it is. Um, I'm happy that they brought me there. The match that I had with Tony Nese was really fun, and Tony Nese is a great professional to be with and very giving, and it was awesome. The locker room's really cool. And other than that, yeah, as far as that goes, I keep in touch, and there's really not much after that. So, but I'm happy with where it's at right now. They have a ton of talent that they're going through with purchasing Ring of Honor, and the last time I was there, I saw even like some guys from Japan and the LA dojo and all that stuff. So it was really cool to see all that. But right now, I mean, like, I'm very thankful for the opportunities that they bring, but I'm kind of grinding in the indies right now. And I'm just thankful that they're allowing me to showcase myself there to build my following. But I'm not chasing a contract. I'm not chasing a contract anywhere. I'm just kind of enjoying the ride. And I think there's a beauty to the indies. And I think we're doing a good job.
Was there anybody there that you were excited to see, or that you spoke with, kind of gave you any advice at all, that you were like, oh, this is like, this is really cool?
Yeah. So Jerry Lynn is probably the nicest man I've ever met in my life. He took me to the side and he critiqued my match, and not the AEW match. He took me to the side. He wanted to watch one of my matches from somewhere else. And I didn't want to like take up too much of his time. So I tried to show him like a short match. He's like, nah, man, show me a long one. Let's see a long one. And he just picked it apart. And to have like someone like that with so much knowledge to believe in you and give you compliments, but also, hey, fix this, and fix this. That's what being in an AEW locker room is about. That's what being in a WWE locker room is about, is being able to meet these legends in our business and kind of give you a talk and give you knowledge. And I think that's the beauty of it right there. I think anywhere where you could learn from somebody like that, it's awesome. So yeah, Jerry Lynn is like my favorite person in that locker room. I'm not afraid to say that.
You and your tag team partner Roki, he was there as well. What's going on between you guys and on the indie scene? Are you guys going after any titles, AAW at all?
On AAW, on AAW, we're going for the tag titles whenever that opportunity comes. But we're all about there, people listening, learning, and absorbing our truth. That's our shtick, And then in Glory Pro, we have Xavier Walker. That we're the hustle and the muscle. So those are my guys. Those are my dudes. As far as like AEW, I think he's doing his thing. He just had a match recently over there, and I think it was pretty good. So when that comes out, I think it'll be smooth. But other than that, I don't know any future with that at AEW. But as far as like the indies, I think we're tearing it up, and that's just fine for me. Like I said, I'm not chasing the contract or anything. I'm really just taking it day by day, and just really happy with how everything is going in the independent scene, because I do think I'm getting successful and I am getting a buzz.
And you are traveling a lot, like we were talking about. You're in Florida and Detroit, and you're just like going from place to place to place to place.
And a road warrior.
Yeah. So like, is there any promotions you have your eye on to set to debut this year at all?
So yes, I've been doing, so I just recently debuted for Wrestle Open, which if people aren't familiar, it's connected with Beyond. My goal is to get on the Beyond show, and I will make that a goal. I'll make that public that is a goal. As far as like other promotions, honestly, I want to get everywhere. I'd love to wrestle in California. I'd love to wrestle more in New York. I think I'm taking over Florida with my FIP World Heavyweight Championship, but I think I'm doing good. I think the Midwest is really starting to get familiar with me. I will be in Toronto this weekend, which is awesome. And then we kind of just go from there. I won't say too much right now, but there is some international talk for later in the year. But
Ooh.
I won't say what, when, and where until it kind of gets closer to.
Did we ever see you go into GCW, do hardcore wrestling, or is that not your style?
I'm not a deathmatch guy. We just had a hardcore tornado tag team match at Glory Pro, which you could see on YouTube, and it was awesome. So I do some hardcore stuff in the realm of like it's never going to be a death match. You're not going to see me do death match. There's obviously a following for it, and that's cool. You know, there's something for everybody. It's not my cup of tea. I don't want to mess up my pretty face or body too much. So I'll keep the scars away from me from now because those light tubes aren't friendly to your skin. As far as like me wrestling at GCW, the opportunities, I mean, we just did their collective in Dallas. We opened their collective, which is cool. I would love to be there because just going to one of their shows and watching it, the vibe's really cool. It feels like a concert. And then you got like the hardcore fans all there watching, and then you got everybody around drinking, having a good time. It's just a cool vibe, and I think GCW does a really good job at having a cool vibe, and they really like built themselves from the ground up. So anybody that can do that, I think it's worth wanting to go, right? So yeah, hopefully, I don't know if I'm their cup of tea, but if they want me there, I'll be there. But not for a death match.
And like, as we're saying, you're traveling around, you're doing a lot of stuff, and you're wrestling a lot of people. Who else is on this list of yours of people that you would like to fight with in the ring?
I'm really terrible at this question. What you tell me who to work with or who to fight, and I'll fight. I would love to work with Alex Hammerstone. He's cool, man. He's big, jacked. That's just a dude I know we could tear it up. Alex Hammerstone right now is number one on my list. So we'll go with that for now. And then I know there's more, and I just can't think of it off the top of my head, but that was the first one that came to mind because I know I'd have a great time with him, and we just have a really good big man fight. I would love another one with Myron Reed. I think he's one of the best in our generation right now, hands down. I think Myron is so good, and I would love to fight him again because the last time I did, I was not who I am now. Working with my trainer Jake something, he taught me everything, along with Rohit. But he's my trainer, and I always like to show him what I learned. There's a few people overseas that I would love to work with too.
Alex Hammerstone, Myron Reed, we see them in MLW, and we know MLW's been doing this open door thing, so maybe
I want to be there. I do. I think I would fit in MLW's locker room very well. I mean, that's to me. Maybe they see it, maybe they don't. But if that happens, I would love to. That's a spot I really want to be at. It really is. I think like if I was to pick, because I know I said it doesn't really matter as far as like companies go and everything, but I really think I can make an impact at a place like MLW, and that is a place I want to go to. Because everybody's looking at AEW, everyone's looking at WWE, everyone's always going to look at those things, but look at MLW's roster. They have good guys, like real good guys, and especially with the open door, like the open challenge and everything. Hey, I hope you see me there. I hope you see me there. I haven't heard anything. I'm being truly honest. I haven't heard anything from them whatsoever. But that is a place I want to be at.
I think we're going to come down to the wire here with our last question. I did not realize how long this is going on because you and we could probably talk forever, honestly.
Yeah.
It's Arab. We're Arab. This is how we are, people.
Yeah, 100%. You know how we say like bye like 17 times when we're at the door. Okay, bye. All right, bye. See you, bye. And then we just kind of stand up to the door until they get into the car, and then we wave again. and then we just slowly close the door. So
yeah, it's just so funny because I just know. I think my last question for you would be like, if there's anything that you could add to your character, like anything of Arabness, like what would it be? Because I know you do like sometimes like the post like we were talking about, you know, you incorporate, but do you feel like you would add anything else if you could?
I always said, because Sheik wrestled at the Kobo Hall in Detroit. A lot of history with Sheik in Detroit in that venue. I always said if I wrestled in that venue, I would come out with the Hatuagal and everything, you know, to represent that, because just to show that the history of that. To add anything, I mean, I have my name in Arabic on my tights. If you actually look at my tights, side in Arabic, it's Karam right there. And I just think you know, it's not a secret. My ethnicity isn't a secret. I think that's enough. I really don't want to be pigeonholed because of my ethnicity. But I'm also not afraid to represent. So it just really depends where I'm at, what I'm doing. As far as like adding anything, I mean, I'm Arab, you know, I'm Lebanese. Yeah, what's there to add? You know? So no, that stuff never really crosses my mind. I'm a wrestler, you know, and I'm a Lebanese wrestler, and I'm proud of that. And I think just being proud is enough.
Maybe yell at your opponents in Arabic. That would be really funny.
Right. I was thinking of calling something like, maybe my finisher will be some move, but I don't know. I always, you know, as a joke, are you familiar with like the Sasua?
Yeah.
I always wanted to like do a move where I just smack someone like in the back and call it the Sasua.
But thank you so much for joining me today. I'm sure we could go on so much more about it, a bunch of different topics. We'll have to probably do more of these. Definitely love to have you on again and for us to talk about so many topics. But thank you so much for joining me today. Can you tell everybody where they can find you on social media?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Karam Alami _, and then on Instagram at Karam Alami. And then that's good. I don't really use the Facebook. So those two, follow me on those, and you will be up to date with where I'm at.
Awesome. And they will be linked in the description below, as well as mine. Again, Karam, thank you so much for joining me on again today.
Oh, thank you. That was actually really fun.